Okay, so I promised Grandmaster Weisman that I'd put a video together this week, and I'm going to put one together every week for the next few weeks on a Thursday, with the hope that in 4 or 5 weeks we're actually going to be back to class, although that's no certainty. So what I want you to do before you do the walking drills that I'm going to do in this video, so the next video, when we have our other cameraman, we're going to do some timing drills, maybe show some self-defenses that you can do with family members. But this one I want to concentrate on the really basic walking drills for this video. So before you do this, of course, warm up, stretch your legs real good. We're going to do a couple kicks, but I'm going to show you the proper way to do all of the beginning walking drills without showing you the improper way. So I'm going to talk through the improper way and just show you the proper way. Whenever I show people the improper way, they tend to repeat it as soon as I show it. So I'm going to try not to show the most common. So when we start out, and we're going to start out in a front stance, we're going to do an Oxjaw. Now when you do an Oxjaw, you can do an Oxjaw to the groin, you can do an Oxjaw to the jaw, and you can do an Oxjaw to the nose. You can do any one of the three. However you choose to do it, I just want you to be consistent. And then you're just going to do it as reverse technique, so we won't step on the first one. And you're just going to pick your spot consistently. Remember, it's the jaw on someone your size. Okay? So, Oxjaw is pretty simple. There's not a whole lot of mistakes that people make with that other than improper hand positions. So make sure that when you practice it, you're doing it the same way every time in one of the three ways I showed you. So, now, the next thing we're going to do is the low block. All right? So we're going to go back into our front stance, and I'm automatically going to go into low block. Look where the low block starts for me. Right up here at my shoulder, and I come down. You can do it as a reverse. It's rarely done as a reverse. It's almost always done regular. And you'll slide forward. Again, chambers up by the ear shoulder area and comes down. The biggest mistake we see is people don't come all the way up to the shoulder area and come down. They maybe go half that way or even less. Or they will punch straight down like they're throwing a punch, which I'm not going to show you because that's what you'll go ahead and do. So, you can do a low block. We're going to step and do a low block. We're going to step and do a low block. Okay? Those are the first two basic moves. Now, if we were doing these in order like they're on the test or like they're on the testing sheet, we're just going to go straight up. So next we would do an outside middle block. So again, we're going to go into a front stance, and then we're going to do an outside middle block. Okay? The biggest mistake everybody makes with this is they go way too far outside their body. Remember what you're doing. When I step and I do an outside middle block, I'm just blocking the fist onto the outside of my body. So that's as far as I need to go to direct it around my shoulder. Okay, step. Now, you can do this one as a reverse. We sometimes do it as a reverse. But again, most often, particularly on testing, you're going to be doing it as a regular technique. Okay, so go ahead and practice that one as a regular technique. Now, we're going to go, we've done the low, we've done the middle. Now we're going to do the high. With the high, you cannot do a high block reverse technique. It has to be regular because you have to have your base to keep somebody from pushing you over. If I've got this arm up, I'm going to go right over the other side. Has to be regular technique. And as you step, it just sort of comes up like an uppercut and turns over. Comes up like an uppercut and turns over. And when you're doing this, you want to have about a fist distance between your head and the block. Okay. So now we've covered the first three blocks and the Oxjaw. Then we go into regular punch. So you're going to do a front stance and you're going to step on the first one. Now, the most common mistake people make with the reverse punch, the regular punch, and the front snap kick are all the same. They don't bring them to the center. Okay. So when I step, you see my punch come straight out. If I was wearing my uniform, it would be at the patch, and it's center line. Okay, so you definitely want it on the center line when you're doing that technique. If you're coming straight out from your shoulder, you're going to actually miss the person you're throwing the punch at. kicks. Same thing. So I always tell people, this is your rangefinder. You want to kick in between your two hands. All right. The other common mistake people make is when they go to put their foot down, they just fall into it. So instead of kick, retract, and set it down, kick, retract, and set it down, what they're going to do is they just kind of flop into it. All right. No matter what kick you're doing, that's wrong. You don't want to do it that way. So again, use this as your rangefinder and come straight down the center. So push with the ball of the foot and point the ankle when you're doing that kick. Okay. So now we're going to do a reverse punch. Same motion as a regular, except it's coming off the back foot. It's actually a more powerful punch. And again, we're coming straight down the center line. Number one mistake everyone makes with these punches and that front snap kick is they just come straight up. So it's actually coming on the outside of the person's body as opposed to coming straight down the center mass where it belongs. Okay. So now we've covered the 2 basic punches. We've covered 3 of the blocks. I'm going to do 1 more block, and then I'm going to show 3 kicks. And that's what you're going to work on this week. Now, if you are a blue belt and a red belt and a black tip, I'm sure you're saying, what should I work on? The exact same thing. The most talented martial arts in the world, all the most talented martial artists in the world, their basics are impeccable, because the basics is what you will use throughout your entire martial arts career. You know, jumping side kicks is not something you're going to use your whole career. A side kick is something you're going to use your whole career. All right. So we're going to do a front stance, and now we're going to do inside middle block. So inside middle block could be done regular or reverse. If you've tested with me, you've probably done it reverse. And so it just comes up from the shoulder and comes out. And it just crosses the center line. The number one mistake people make with this block is they don't actually cross the center line. So if the person punches at you the way they're supposed to, they're going to punch you right in the chest, because your hand is not going to deflect. And again, you just have to knock it off just a little bit to keep from being hit. Okay, so let's review. And also know that I'm pointing down. There's nothing down here right now, it's just concrete. But when you see this video, there will actually be notes at the bottom of this video. So if you have any questions about this, just look down there, because I'm going to put extensive notes with this video. So we've done the Oxjaw, we've done the 2 basic punches, we've done our 4 blocks. We've done low block, outside middle block, high block, and inside middle block. So I want to finish with 2 more kicks. And these are the techniques that I want you to work on this week. Work on them Thursday. You need to be getting back into the habit of Thursday night is Taekwondo night. But you should also do at least 1 supplemental training a week. So whatever day that is, for me it's Monday. And sometimes Tuesday and sometimes Saturday. But it's definitely Monday. Monday is set aside as my supplemental training day. So whatever that supplemental training day is, I want you to do this, and then I want you to do 10 repetitions of both of the forms that you would be using for your testing. So if you were learning the yuks, which are the 6s, I would want you to do Taeguek Yukchung, Palgwe Yukchung. If you're new to class, it might be the Kichos. Could be Taeguek Il, Palgwe Il. So if you're a beginner, I want you to do Kicho, Il, Yi, Sam, and Sa 5 times each. And then I want you to do O, if you need O for your next test, 10 times. All right? And so now I'm making the beginners do more. So guess what? You just get a bonus. If you are learning the 1s, I want you to do 15 of Taeguek Il-chung. I want you to do 15 of Palgwe Il-chung. That'll take you about a half an hour. If you do these walking drills, or the next 2 I'm going to show you are standing drills, if you do those 2 with that, or you do those movements, not 2, T-O-O. If you do those movements also, this workout should take you about 40 to 45 minutes, with the warm-up closer to an hour, which is a good supplemental workout for each week. So I want you to do 15 if you're doing the Taegueks and Palgwes, 15 each. If you are doing the Kichos, 5 each, and then 10 of Kicho. So now let me show you 2 more kicks. Right now I'm standing on cement, asphalt, concrete. This is not a great surface to do a lot of turning kicks on. So I'm fine doing the front snap kicks. I don't like doing side kicks and back kicks and stuff that you got to do a lot of pivots on. But I do want to show you. You can side kick by standing in place. You just lift the foot up, kick out, and bring it back. You just lift the foot out, kick out, and bring it back. You'll do the same to both sides. Again, if you watch, the key to making this kick is pivoting that foot. That is the same. So Trey, you're gonna have to trail with me. So we need to get this foot turned for the roundhouse kick too, but a lot of people have some issues with that. So one of the things that you can do, and a young black belt when I first started in class named Robbie actually taught me this, just put your hand on a stationary object. I used to use the banister in my house all the time, but you can just use like the back of a car and just lift that leg up in the right position and turn the foot already. And that'll teach you how to open up your hip to do the roundhouse kick correctly. And then you just work it up, and then you just take your hand away, and eventually you'll have no problem. And what you want to get used to doing, when you get the hand there and you're going to do that kick, you lift that up, pivot on that foot. Okay? Pivot on that foot, which isn't easy on this concrete, but you pivot on that foot. All right? So those are the things. You don't have to do the side kick and the roundhouse kick walking. You can do those in place if you want. And then, but I want you to do the hand techniques and the front snap kick. Even if you're on asphalt, you should be fine doing those kicks. Won't give your knees any undue issues. So to recap, and then we're going to close the video out, I want you to do a warm-up, 5 to 10 minutes. I want you to go through the 10 walking drills we went over today. And then I either want you to do the Kichos or the Taegueks and Palgwes for the number of repetitions we said. And again, any questions you have, look at the notes at the bottom of the video. Get training.